We've watched similar things. This is supposed to be the best one. This is called... Where's it at? Conspiracy Theory of Everything. This was suggested by a bunch of you guys. This is all about conspiracies. And it's 3 fucking hours long, dude. I'm excited. And hey, yo, mods, any negative vibes in the chat today, get them out. Get your fucking snacks ready. If you haven't got any snacks yet, go get your snacks. I'll wait, because this is 3 hours. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Welcome to what may very well be one of the most important videos we've ever made. Now, in order to even begin this video, I must first establish this disclaimer. This video is a set of hypotheses, an exploration of the world.
Oh, wait, before yo, mods, change the title of the stream to Conspiracy Theories of Everything. Like, just make it the YouTube video, just make it the title of the stream. Thank you, mods, thank you. Yo, what the fuck?
Many ideas, set of hypotheses, an exploration of the world, and while many ideas will be explored, what we are sharing here is not meant to be taken as definitive truth. We're not claiming this is entirely made up of facts. Rather, we are attempting to explore a deeper, perhaps darker, area of human consciousness and see the bigger picture of what is really going on. Please have your own experience, do your own research, and don't be afraid to go deeper down the rabbit hole, for the truth is often stranger than fiction. There's no denying that the collective human consciousness is in quite of a pickle today. It is chaotic and overtaking itself and all of nature. Because of the internet, we have nearly real-time access to information, and yet most people are only seeing a particular slice of the story. For example, the algorithms behind what you find when you use Google, Facebook, YouTube, and almost every other social network are designed to show you what you're already looking for, or what the computer code thinks you want to see based on other people's behavior. Unless you're actively searching for new information, to find something different, or follow someone who is creating content that is going down rabbit holes and sharing what they find, what you get is generally what you're already accustomed to seeing. You only see what you want to see. Further, due to the controversial nature of many ideas, especially those labeled as conspiracy theories, many ideas are not explored by the mass.
All right. I'm not going to deal with this the whole movie. Let's get a poll. Subtitles on or off. We need a poll. And whatever you vote on as a chat, I'm going to do it. And I don't care if you are against it. It doesn't matter. We're just going with that. All right. Let's get a poll in the chat. Hey, yo, hold on a second, bro.
Labeled as conspiracy theories, many ideas are not explored by the masses because when they hear about it, they see that these ideas are ridiculed and they write them off as nonsense or dangerous extremism. Following the herd mentality makes it easier to dismiss exploring new ideas, so people can easily go along with their lives. This is critical because the ability to change one's belief changes your experience of life, and most people are happy just letting things be as they are. A minority of people are compelled to seek higher truth at all cost, and certainly most of us know that sometimes it can be very hard to empathize with those who choose comfort over following their passions. As the saying goes, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, and trying to convince others to think differently only leads to distress on everyone's part. As many ancient texts will suggest, this is not how true wisdom is passed on. This creates a sort of self-created deception and distraction from the bigger picture, which is rarely explored. If you're already familiar with spirit science, we've talked before about how everything is connected. This was even a fundamental part of my own awakening, where I had a transcendent experience that all things were one. unified and stemming from and linking to a singular greater whole. Yet today, and the struggle of human consciousness, is that most people are not seeing it, simply not looking, or not even wanting to look. In modern science today, there are many scientists searching for an all-pervading theory of everything, something that unifies quantum mechanics and the theories of relativity. And so today, we respectfully present to you the conspiracy theory of everything.
What the?
I invite you to watch this with the intention of self-reflection, for as is the nature of consciousness itself, pointing the finger and blaming others only creates more of the same cycle that we've been trapped in. Liberating ourselves from the illusion is the only way to really break free of the shackles that bind us to our lower state of being.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared, chat. I see some people scared. Don't be scared. It's gonna be okay.
Our conspiracy theory of everything begins first with the demiurge. The demiurge is an ancient Greek and Gnostic concept describing a consciousness that is considered to essentially be the creator of the physical universe, but not the supreme creative force behind all things. A good way to explore this idea is through The Matrix, a science fiction story that suggests everything we think we know of as the real world is nothing but an illusion. A false world within which most are imprisoned, unable to effectively identify what is real. As people go about their day-to-day lives, they think that their world is authentic, but that every individual is truly plugged into an artificial reality severed from the real world. While people suffer, there is a tremendous benefit to the ruling overlords, who in the film were a form of AI. As it relates to us, this AI is in essence the demiurge. The demiurge was described as a force, a deity, or a consciousness who was responsible for the creation of the physical world and reality. However, in a way, it had imposed itself over top of the true reality, the supreme oneness that created all things. In this, it was a false god who had assumed authority over the world, masking the living beings, namely us, from the supreme truth, the highest order of creation, and making us believe that what we experienced as real, the physical reality that we are a part of, was the true, authentic reality, even though it wasn't. Depending on the school and belief of different Gnostic sects, the demiurge was either seen as something malevolent, deliberately trying to deceive us, or something that was simply ignorant or misguided of its place in the universe and the rest of creation, which led to us becoming lost in the illusion as a result. Said in simple terms, the demiurge was the force behind the physical universe, but within our consciousness, so long as we perceived that which is physical to be real, we were slaves to the illusion of the false or at least incomplete reality.
Chad, there's some things I want to say, but if I pause throughout this is going to be a 14-hour stream, bro. So I'm gonna just let the shit play, but if there's something I really want to say, then I'll pause it. But I'll just let the shit play.
To that end, these ancient people, at least those who are part of the ancient mystery schools, believed that the physical reality was an illusion. They sought to liberate themselves from the illusion of reality through various spiritual practices, from meditation to plant medicine ceremonies and everything in between, in order to connect with higher realms of existence and break free of the false world by finding the truth, the supreme oneness within. This is because even the demiurge and the physical universe still stemmed from the supreme oneness, and the light of truth could be found within. Known to the Gnostics as
what
Sophia,
am I even hearing right
in
now?
Greek, It was the act of awakening this divine spark.
What am I even hearing right now?
Turn us to the
Bro, is anyone else confused as fuck right now? Is anybody else confused as fuck? Dude, I'm very fucking confused, dude. I'm very fucking confused.
Higher realms, which became the ultimate goal of many Gnostic schools. This is where we find the roots of enlightenment and light concepts from around the world, which teach that within this world of suffering, we can release ourselves from the illusion through various forms of mastery and self-discipline, both physical, emotional, and mental. This, of course, takes considerable effort and intention to do so. In essence, transcendent people do what is hard, and that's why their lives are easy. People in suffering do what is easy, and that's why their lives are hard. Fast forward to today, there is a tremendous volume of voices from across the internet, exploring ideas, concepts, and sharing a metric buttload of memes. But amidst the voices of the masses, we find a new concept emerging and being discussed in scientific and even some mainstream circles. An idea that proposes that the entire universe as we know of is actually a hologram or a simulation of some kind. Scientifically speaking, if we look at the cosmos from the perspective—
Bro, that's a real theory that people have, that we're living in a simulation. That's a legit thing that, like, legit scientists, like, you can look this up, actually think is a possibility.
Of quantum mechanics, there is a general acknowledgement that we really don't—
Alright, yeah, alright. I tried with the plebs. I tried, bro. God damn, bro. Fucking ADHD fucking radiating through the fucking chat, bro. God damn, bro.
We are seeing the—
And if you see subs doing it, ban them for the rest of the stream.
Blocks of the universe, the subatomic particles, the waves, behaving in ways that do not make sense in the context of classical mechanics, which revealed discrepancies in the laws of physics. Yet, the laws of physics still stand and apply in a practical sense when talking about our macroscopic world. But the fabric of the reality that we live in operates by rules that we have yet to uncover. The holographic universe seems in principle to be very much like how you might expect a movie and a projector to work in tandem. When you watch a movie, you enjoy it linearly, going through it one frame at a time, usually at 24, 30, or 60 frames per second. The stories on the screen follow a narrative of some kind, and generally speaking, there are definite laws that make up the universe you are experiencing in the film. Yet, the quantum world, on the other hand, is like being able to observe the entire roll of film timelessly at any point, which includes zooming in on individual frames, playing things backwards, forwards, the sequels and prequels all at the same time. The particles and waves that make up our reality are non-linear and could potentially imply notions of retrocausality. And while they too follow their own set of laws, they are different from the world we exist in at a macro level. Another example of this is found in computer code. What you are seeing on your computer or phone screen at any given time is a filtered projection of what is really going on underneath the surface, designed to be easy for you to interpret. Yet, under the surface of these machines, there is a computer language that is incomprehensible to nearly everyone. Languages like binary and machine code are too simple to make complex algorithms effectively in. Instead, programmers use higher-level languages designed to be understood by humans to write code that is then translated into the lower, base-level machine code and then binary at the bottom. What you are seeing when you look at your phone or computer monitor ultimately comprises mountains of ones and zeros that lay under the surface of the digital world, just like what is under the surface of our own reality.
1 minute till tit, 1 minute.
You might be familiar with the ancient wisdom teaching, as above, so below, a concept that applies on several levels, describing that which exists in higher realities is a mirror of lower ones. So as with machine code and binary, ultimately all of that computational code is equal to and actively creates the digital experience on your devices. But they are two entirely different paradigms. This is the great challenge of modern science today, unifying quantum mechanics and general relativity, because we are unable to comprehend yet how the physical world and tangible substance, continuity, gravity, life, time, and consciousness emerge from this flux field of quantum information, which appears to operate by an entirely different set of laws related to statistics and probability. Yet, like with machine code and computers, are they really so different? The question then becomes, as many are theorizing today, could our entire reality be nothing?
Okay, where's Titty?
An artificial reality that our consciousness is plugged into. There are some oddities that have been captured on camera that some people believe are glitches in the Matrix. Now maybe these oddities are fake, who knows? But as an example, we do have this curious clip of a bird who is perched in midair without moving before flying away. There was also this news footage from Russia several years ago that someone caught an individual levitating on camera.
What
but when the guy with the
fuck?
camera called out to them, the girl dropped down and ran away. Now again, I'm not trying to say this is hard evidence of a real-life Matrix, but it certainly compels curiosity. And this is what it's really all about. Humanity living in the question, in the mystery of life, and these strange occurrences that beg us to ask the question, what is the true nature of reality? Now, on that note, I encourage you to please do your own research and go down these rabbit holes yourself and make up your own mind. In this way, you become a conduit of free thought rather than following in the herd mentality of that which has been established for you by the powers that be and society at large. Even if the laws of physics as we know them today say that this is impossible, levitation or birds perched in midair, we also know that the laws of physics are incomplete. We don't even know how to properly fit gravity into our standard model of physics, and perhaps unlocking these secrets will change everything for us. And this brings us to our primary key, where we begin with our conspiracy theory of everything, the basis from which everything to come will build off of. The demiurge is, in essence, a lesson about the illusion of reality. That the entire world as we conceive it to be is based on what we perceive with our physical senses, which is a limited...
Bro, my question is to some people in the chat, it's just like a simple thing.
This idea suggests that the illusion of the cosmos is incomplete, and as long as we believe in only it by itself, we too shall remain incomplete. We are living within a material universe, yes, but there is more to the cosmos than just that. And as long as we choose to believe in this limited reality, we will continue to perpetuate its existence. It is only by embracing that which we don't know and asking the right questions can we break free of the fetters that bind us.
Take it out of sub mode right now. Subs, you literally fucked up worse than the plebs, bro. Get the fuck out. Take it out of sub mode.
In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth the Atlantean, there is a great deal of discussion that describes the human soul as a light trapped in the veil of the night, a metaphor suggesting that the night is the illusion of separateness, the soul disconnected from the supreme oneness, or simply trapped in illusions in general. Basically anything that is not the highest truth. It is the unilluminated mind that actively creates the reality that it perceives to be real, and as such, humanity lives out its days in the dark, veiled in the illusion of one's own beliefs, disconnected from any higher reality. This was portrayed excellently in Marvel's Doctor Strange, when Stephen denies anything beyond
I never
the
watched
material
this.
universe, and then is shown a glimpse of the multidimensional nature of reality.
I never saw that.
Thoughts are things. He is shown that all of us steer the reality field by our conscious intent. But yet, as we become complacent in the creation of our lives, we give up control of the driver's seat.
I heard it was good.
The question is, who is driving the ship? Literally anyone and everything else. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious, the collective mind field of everyone whose thoughts and feelings influence our own very decisions and actions by the concentration of their energetic weight. Whether it be the media, the news, advertisements, what your family or friends tell you, or things that you just happen across on the internet. Ultimately, all of it is processed by our egos, which shape who we think we are as we disconnect further from the nature of our being. So the question then becomes, what is the truth? What is the higher reality? And how do we connect with it? The ancient wisdom teachings describe that the quest for wisdom, or enlightenment, or the true nature of being, is a continuous journey into the unknown, and the illumination that we are active creators of our lives, not simply beholden unto the preconceived patterns that we've been following in. The great truth we must understand about the demiurge is that we are the ones who actively perpetuate its existence by believing in the physical universe as the ultimate.
Wait, so chat, do you believe that your life is just like set up? Like it's already planned? I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. That's like, that just seems way too like, I don't know. Because like I could like right now I could stand up and just like moon the camera and get banned on Twitch. You know what I mean? And that would just like alter my life. You know what? Like like it could, in like 1 second you could just change your life. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna moon, bro. But then, wait a second. Is that like in my programming? Am I supposed to moon right now? Am I supposed to show my bare ass cheeks on stream right now? Dude, something's making me... Dude, this is not me doing this, bro. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Reality. Your beliefs shape the reality that you experience, as Dr. Bruce Lipton has demonstrated through his work with the biology of belief. The beliefs and ideas that we hold in our minds can be scientifically proven to affect how our DNA and cells express themselves. If you believe you are a lowlife with nothing going on and will die alone and miserable, guess what kind of life you will lead? If you believe you can change the world, guess what kind of life you will lead? In order to break free of the limitations that we feel are imposed upon us, we must first believe that it's possible to do so. We must open ourselves to a greater truth, a greater reality, one that is beyond the demiurge, and perceive a cosmic truth that forever changes life as we know it.
Bro, this is literally just how you need to live. You need to think highly of yourself. You need to think like, no, I'm destined for better and for, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just sit here and be like, oh, nah, shit's over, bro. It's over. Like, nah, it's, whatever, bro. Like, I just have like a shitty job, or like dude, you can't think like that. You can't think like that, bro. You can't think like that, because then it's gonna seep into your brain, and then you're just gonna like do things to stay like that, if that makes sense. You're not gonna try to like be greater. So like, fuck whatever he's saying. That's just how you need to be in general. Creatures, what's up, bro?
Yet, humanity is not paying attention to messages like this in mass, and there is a reason for it. It is a very significant and critical thing, for this one piece of the puzzle must be resolved in order for humanity to truly advance as a species and break free of illusion collectively. Our journey down the rabbit hole is only just beginning. This is where our conspiracy theory of everything is going to get dark, and I mean really dark. In the disconnection of the soul, the ego runs rampant, and this is the source of our suffering, and how we are controlled by the elite. For this, I must offer you a warning. We must be aware of the horrific nature of humanity if there is to be any healing done. Light must be brought to darkness, and the darkness must be faced if we ever wish to solve our problems for good. Be warned that the following contains mature subject matter.
What? Dude, this was vetted.
And may offend some audiences.
What?
Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, yo, hold up, bro. What?
There is a sickness deep in the heart of human consciousness.
Wait. Let me just skim through it. There's no nudity, right? Yeah, there's no nudity, but like what do you mean viewer discretion advised, though? No, there's no nudity in this, dude. This has already been reviewed. All right, bro. Dudes are saying, yeah, no, it's good. Then some people are like, no, there is. Yo, are you really being dead ass, bro? Dudes are sitting here spamming, there is. Knowing damn well they never watch this shit. You're just being a fucking asshole. No, dude, there is, bro. There is. There's a huge cock, bro. Why would there be a huge cock? Why the fuck would there be a huge cock? On a YouTube video, there's a huge cock?
Hatred evil that is running rampant through the underbelly of modern society, rarely seen or discussed in public, but is the ultimate source of all of our misery, our suffering. This evil masks itself on the surface appearance of the world, with the pretense that everything is okay, life is good, and look at all of the fun that we're having. However, this illusion is as false a reality as the demiurge, and in fact, they are simply a reflection of each other. As above, so below. This evil takes its roots on many levels, and one of the darkest ways that it manifests is in the form of sexual energy manipulation.
Bro, what the fuck? I was about to say, do you think social media shit is like kind of like fucking people's lives up, bro? Because it's now like become like it is reality. Because remember, like years ago, it used to be like, oh, dude, that's the internet, bro. No one, whatever. But now it's like the internet is like reality in a way. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's literally fucking the world up, bro. Hold on, he just said sexual something. Let me see what this is.
And pedophilia. Jeffrey Epstein was the first public domino, a sick and twisted figure, or soulless ego, if you will, who arranged and ordered.
Hey, and dude, this is one of the most sick bastards ever to live. This guy. Piece of fucking shit. Literally, like, bro, if you watch the documentary about him, you'll know, bro. And there are dudes who tweet at me Photoshop pictures of him wearing a fucking the grape hoodie, bro. The champion grape hoodie. You're not funny, bro. Like, how is this funny? Nah, bro. No, Chad, this is not a, that's not a W. No. Okay. All right, bro.
Sick and twisted figure.
He's literally a sick and twisted figure, bro.
Who arranged and organized a large sex trafficking ring of women and girls, often underage, abusing them and forcing them to have sex not just with him, but with other high-profile individuals.
So fucked up.
Most notably was Prince Andrew of the British royal family, with an accusation from a woman named Virginia Roberts that Epstein forced her to have sex with the prince on at least 3 separate occasions. The overwhelming evidence suggests that Prince Andrew is guilty, and he nearly incriminated himself during his BBC interview attempting to respond to these allegations. In the interview, Prince Andrew claimed that his final meeting with Epstein was purely to tell him, "I am cutting off contact with you," and then proceeded to stay at Epstein's place for 3 days while young women were observed being brought into and out of the home repeatedly during that time. When questioned why he stayed there for 3 days, he claimed that it was purely a convenient location to stay while he was in town, and never saw any of these women, despite a claim that observed him getting a foot massage from a young woman inside the house during that time. Epstein was a domino, revealing a much larger sex trafficking ring that is going on worldwide, as we know definitively that Bill Clinton himself had been to Epstein Island, Jeffrey's favorite place to take and rape young women. Bill had been there at least 20 times, and Hillary Clinton had been there at least 6, along with a notable list of...
Bro. Obama? Ben Affleck? Wait, what?
And Hillary Clinton had been there at least 6, along...
Jim Carrey? No. Come on, what the fuck is this, bro? Epstein flight log. Those who scream... Tom Hanks? Stephen Colbert? Wait, what? Robert Downey Jr. I know Chris Tucker. There was a picture of Chris Tucker. He actually was. Are these real, bro? If these are real, this is fucked up. Kevin Spacey, I fully believe that one. Cause he's a pervert. Bro, this is real, bro. Quentin Tarantino? Oprah? Will Ferrell? I don't know, man. This seems fucked up, man. Yeah, Will Smith, dude. This seems fucked up, dude.
Along with a notable list of high-profile individuals who have also visited this remote island in the Virgin Islands. The question then is, how big and how deep does this really go? If Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, was this heavily involved with Epstein, who else might be connected with this network of pedophiles and rapists? The Epstein
scandal. The hell is that? Did you see that?
Over something big, and it's up to all of us to pull back the curtains and reveal what's really going on. The stories and conspiracy theories around this go very deep.
The hell was that?
That at the highest level, the ruling elite of the world,
you know what I don't like?
Themselves on the energy of the...
He's showing clips, but he's not. There's no audio from the clips yet. Like, you know what I mean? He's just like, what was that guy falling down from the thing? Like, what was he doing? Like, he's just like talking, but I don't know.
Innocent. That pedophilia and rape gives an individual a high, taking one's purity, shattering one's innocence, and giving them a feeling of power and authority over others through horrifying sexual energy manipulation. But this isn't even the worst part, with stories of Adrenochrome, a compound formed by the oxidation of adrenaline in the body, formed naturally when we experience extreme fear and stress. The pervading theory on the internet suggests that the ruling elite of the world use children in insidious rituals, torturing them, draining their blood, extracting...
Oh my god, dude, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Yo, but this isn't some crazy shit, bro. I've heard people talk about this. I've heard people talk about this shit. This is not some like, he's not just talking out of his ass. People have talked about this shit. Remember the other documentary we watched with the guy from Hollywood? And he said that they did like satanic rituals and shit. And then I saw, I think it was on like, it was on a podcast. I think it was like a Joe Rogan podcast. He said some shit about like, there's like a place that people go, like celebrities go, and then they like sacrifice someone or they like drink blood or some shit. I don't know, some weird shit, bro. Some weird ass shit.
Injecting the adrenochrome and injecting it within themselves, providing them with heightened energy and the appearance of youthfulness, among other things.
What the fuck?
It should be known that adrenochrome first made it big due to Aldous Huxley's 1954 book, The Doors of Perception, discussing the nature of adrenochrome, and was later referenced in Hollywood movies including A Clockwork Orange with Adrenochrome, as well as in the film Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which many suggest is the true origin of this theory. However, while it may be easy to dismiss this idea, there are certain anomalies that stand out when investigating this material. The biggest may very well be the conspiracies and scandals surrounding Hillary Clinton, and a particular laptop previously owned by former US politician Anthony Weiner. On November 4th, 2016, Eric Prince appeared on Breitbart Radio, and he outlined the discoveries on the Weiner laptop that was being blocked by Attorney General Lynch.
The Weiner laptop!
He said that they found a lot of really damning criminal information, including money laundering and the fact that Hillary went to the sex island with Jeffrey Epstein. Sidney Powell at Hillsdale College called out the FBI, claiming that there is a lot that can be prosecuted there, and that some of the police officers who initially were investigating the laptop saw some things that made them have to go and throw up. Shortly after that, the NYPD chief who was directly involved in Anthony Weiner's laptop case killed himself. Or at least, so the story goes. Then again, the official story is that Epstein killed himself. However, investigations into the nature of his death calls all of this into question, essentially suggesting that his death was not a suicide.
Dude. Bro. There is no way that he killed himself, bro. There's literally no way. After watching the documentary, seeing all this shit about him, there is literally no fucking way that he killed himself, bro. He knew too much information. He was going to give up everybody. And we're talking about multi-millionaires, billionaires. Bro, if you have enough money, you can get someone deleted, bro. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line, dude. You know he was going to give up everyone.
But rather that he had information that he could have used to prosecute many high-level individuals, and someone shut him up before he had the chance to speak. As far as Hillary's emails go, many claimed that certain code words were being used consistently to refer to children for use in strange and mysterious events. Of course, the conspiracy gets even darker from there, suggesting that at the highest level, the control and manipulation of our species may even come from a non-human source, those of a reptilian nature. The theory suggests that Epstein was merely one messed up pawn in a much larger game of controlling and influencing the world order. Theories range as to whether or not these reptilians are physical shapeshifters, non-physical entities who control people's minds, or a scapegoat theory for something else entirely. The idea itself was illustrated very well in the movie They Live, showing people as weird aliens who used a particular signal from a radio tower to mask their appearance from the public, but were otherwise living among us and enslaving our mass consciousness. And you can watch our video breakdown of this movie right here on our channel. Nevertheless, the ones pulling all of the strings today are generally called the Deep State, the manipulative group controlling human consciousness through nefarious means. But with that, The mysteries of who is behind all of this aside, how exactly do the world elite control human consciousness? Due to the sheer volume of control mechanisms, here we're going to provide a lighter overview, and you are encouraged to explore these as you see fit. Fear and scarcity. At the highest level of control, fear is one of the most easiest methods to control the population in mass. This is a two-way street that binds the influence from the elite and us together, for we actively perpetuate the problem when we live from fear and scarcity, spreading it around to each other like a nasty virus. Fear can be used to corral people in all manner of directions, to take actions that are not in their best interest, or to give up their power and control to others. Our food.
Dude, I'm not gonna sit here while people are saying Los vented. You're saying Among Us jokes. This is a serious topic. You're saying Los vented. The hell are you talking about? Hold on, bro. Dude, I'm not sus. What are they about to say about food? What are they going to say about food, bro? What are they going to say about food? Is this going to be like they're putting shit in our food to control our minds? Is that even possible? Oh, speaking of food and shitting out food and shit like that, I got a new toilet. It's fucking amazing, dude. I got a plumber came over, installed a new toilet. It's literally the best toilet I've ever sat on, dude. It's a lot of room. It's a little wider. You ever sit on a toilet, bro? I'm not talking to the little, like, skinny people who this doesn't happen to, but, you know, people who got some meat on them. You ever sit on a toilet that's too small, bro? I'm talking about too small where you got, like, a cheek hanging off. Dude. I'm not saying my toilet was that, like the one downstairs, but it was closer. It was close to that, bro. It was close to that. Like it was like too small. All right, okay. Oh, sorry, nobody in here. All right, okay. Everybody in here is a 7-pack. My fault. I forgot. Everyone has an 8-pack in here. My fault.
Power and control to others. Our food. For the most part, all of the food that we're eating today is toxic, designed to subdue our creative energy, making us easily addicted to things that are unhealthy for us. Whether it's processed foods, rich with salt, sugar, and fat, or even our produce, which has been chemically engineered or sprayed with pesticides and herbicides. We can see this with Monsanto.
So then what the fuck are we supposed to eat? We can't eat vegetables and fruit and shit. We can't eat the food that they're giving us. What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to grow my own food? Grow your own. I love this, dude. I love this. You guys are saying grow your own as if that's like an option. Like you guys do that shit. Kill and grow your own. All right, bro.
Who have actually patented seed and GMO production, disallowed the ancient practice of saving seeds, and ultimately controlled the food supply, but have masked it as providing the world food. We recently published a movie called Healing Your Body with Food, Spirit Science 33, which reveals the truth about food and where it comes from today. So we won't get super deep into it here, because there is a lot to cover. But if you want to go deeper into this, please watch that movie after this one is done. Ultimately though, the bottom line here appears to be that we are what we eat, and most of us eat far too much, and in that consume too many harmful substances. fluoride in the water. Some have said that fluoride is the metaphorical tears of the New World Order, and that it's their most widely used weapon against us. The idea, in a nutshell, is that governments put fluoride in our water supply in order to negatively affect huge populations and facilitate mass control, whether for financial gain through the health defects that it causes, or for the purpose of disrupting our connection to the spiritual planes. Any quick search of a fluoride conspiracy brings up notions that it calcifies the pineal gland, the organ in our brain that is often linked to consciousness and the third eye. The idea of the pineal gland being linked with consciousness originally came from the French philosopher Descartes, who argued that the interaction between non-local consciousness and the physical world occurred inside of it. If you dig into why water fluoridation began, you find a convoluted, suspicious...
So let me ask you guys something. Are drugs illegal because it makes people look at the world different? Or are they illegal because they're trying to protect us? Because you think both. It's an interesting thing to think about, to be honest, because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, there are people controlling, in a way, kind of like controlling like what we... I don't know, man. This is weird. This is weird, bro. Just do... Yeah, I'm just gonna do meth. Fuck it.
Mess, mostly centering around the aluminum production company Alcoa, who supposedly had a lot of toxic waste to spare that took the form of fluoride as a byproduct of aluminum production. After a single biochemist who was sponsored by them showed in a lab that fluoride affects cavities in rats in 1939, so the story goes, the first public proposal that the US should fluoridate its water supplies were made, not by a doctor, but by an industry scientist. Nowadays, our water is fluoridated in over 24 countries, mostly in the Western world. According to chemist and researcher 𝗟𝗪𝗪𝗀, who wrote the book The Truth About Water Fluoridation, repeated doses of infinitesimal amounts of fluoride will in time reduce an individual's ability to resist domination by slowly poisoning a certain area of the brain, thus making them submissive to the will of those who wish to govern them. While there are unsupported theories that the Nazis used the chemical in concentration camps or the USSR in their gulags, the threat of fluoride isn't just a theory. The work of Jennifer Luke in the 90s showed that by old age, the pineal gland contains the same amount of fluoride as teeth, having been calcified as we age. Further, a huge review on fluoride toxicity published by the National Research Council in 2006 reported a range of negative side effects from fluoride, including decreased melatonin production and other effects on normal pineal function, which in turn could contribute to a variety of bad effects in humans. In fact, studies from Harvard and China's Shanghai Health Institute may even have linked fluoride to reduced IQ in children and even suggest that it could be toxic to a developing brain. As well as being linked to certain types of cancer, it's also been shown to destroy the male reproductive system in rabbits. The bottom line is, the benefit to risk ratio on water fluoridation is unclear due to a lack of good evidence, with most people not even knowing that they're drinking it. If the conspiracy theories are to be believed, professors doing this research have been met with...
Why are people typing los and ratio in the chat? Oh, okay, because he said the word ratio. Okay, but why are you saying los? What popped up that said that made you say los? Like, literally, what popped up? Okay, lowers IQ. Okay, chat. You understand I'm smart, right? Like, you know that. I guess you try to play like a little game where you're like, no, you're dumb, dude. But you know, like it's like, All right, chat. Be honest. Be honest. Do you think I'm smart? I see the real ones putting yes. I see the real ones putting yes, bro. Everyone else is trolling, but I see the real ones going like, yeah, you're smart. The fuck? Listen, dude. This isn't sheer luck. This isn't sheer luck. That's high IQ. That's high IQ, bro.
Numerous attempts to discredit them. 𝗖𝗵_Peckham, director of the Center for Health Services at the University of Kent and professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine at the University of Toronto, has had his research of water fluoridation.
I'm not trusting this guy though, so there's that. Not trusting him. Sorry.
Rejected from dental health journals. He's even spoken out about being accused of statistics hacking and for research that made the link between
statistics hacking? Yeah, I'm definitely not trusting him, bro.
It seems as though someone does not want this info getting out. Entertainment and subliminal messaging. The entertainment industry has been a source of conspiracies for a long time.
This I believe in.
With often disturbing subliminal messages in children's entertainment, such as references to suicide and sex found in everything from Disney movies to SpongeBob. But it often goes deeper and darker. The entertainment industry, especially Disney, has seen several instances of hiring young children, making them into massive celebrities, making a fortune off of them.
You're fugly. Okay, chat, what am I out of 10? Go ahead. Go ahead, dude. See, you know what, chat? The thing is, I try to lift you guys up. I try to make you feel good. The fact that not everyone in here is spamming 10 plus, it's sad. Like, if you asked me what you were out of 10, I'd be like, you're a 14, bro. You know? It's all about trying to lift someone up. If you got nothing nice to say, dude, it might sound corny, but don't say anything. You know? Like, what's the point? You guys, hey, you know what, chat? You guys are all 10s, bro. I don't care what you think I am. You're all 10s.
Them and driving them insane. This has also happened with the K-pop industry, with their so-called slave contracts that force the young singers into decades of servitude, having them work endless hour days and running them to the point of exhaustion. There are actually many instances of these young singers collapsing on stage due to exhaustion. This also links back to the conversation of pedophilia networks, for many celebrities have now spoken out about how bad Hollywood really is for pedophilia, including people like Brad Pitt, Elijah Wood, Evan Rachel Wood, and Corey Feldman.
Brad Pitt? I've never heard that. Bro, but I will say this. You know what I think what it is? It's not that, like, I don't think it's that it's Hollywood per se. I just think it's when you have a lot of money, like let's say everyone, let's say 1,000 people all got $10 million, right? Out of that 1,000 people, statistically, there's going to be some psychos in there, bro. Statistically, there's going to be some psychopaths. There's going to be some perverts. There's going to be some pedophiles. Like, there's going to be. So I'm like, I feel like, I think it's just people with money because they can hide shit better. Like, I think they can, like, pay people off. I think they can, like, you know what I mean? It's just people who are just rich, bro. I'm talking about millions and millions. Guys, stop saying you to... Guys, the second I have $1 million, okay? The second that I have $1 million, literally where I can open my bank and I see 1 million, I'm giving away a car to you guys, and I'll tell you I'm a millionaire today. If that happens, you know, pray to God that one day that happens. You know, if God keeps blessing me, hey, if that happens, I'm giving away a car. But I'm just saying, dude. Charles, you're laughing, but what kind of attitude is this? So tomorrow, I mean, should I just throw this all on black or what? All right, I'm actually going to stop. Because this is like... All right, let's go.
The news. The news
is the most fucked up thing in this country, bro. The news is the most fucked up thing in this country. Because if you think about it, bro, they're not actually, like, no one's being legit. They just want viewers. They need viewers for ad money. The more viewers they have, the more they can charge advertisers. That's all that this is. That's all this is. And it's like, it's to the point where it's like, what can anyone believe anymore, bro? You can't watch any channel without there being some kind of agenda. You can't.
Often perpetuates a story that things are bad and getting worse. There is a consistent theme from the news of toxicity, and as people watch this in mass, we come to believe it, and thus perpetuate it. The people running the news command more attention by spreading this kind of information because bad news gets more attention than positive stories, and therefore, we continue to create this reality. When you're constantly looking at the world in a negative light, you are not looking at your own light. In fact, you don't even know that there is light within you. There is only darkness, shadows, and frightening imagery. And so what happens? But humanity falls further and further into a world of self-created delusion. It's also worth mentioning that even the local news is ultimately both written for and controlled by a unified source, regardless of the network. Just watch this clip and you'll see how bad it really is.
Our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets are true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Bro, this is literally, chat, this is making me want to not go on the internet, not watch anything, and just fucking, just go somewhere. Just go somewhere and just chill. And just like, just not even care about the internet. Not care about what's on the news, just literally don't care about anything. Just live in the real world and ignore everything else. That sounds like a fucking dream, dude. That sounds like a dream. Imagine you have no fear, no news media, nothing on Twitter, nothing's trying to scare you. You just have no stress and you're just chilling, dude. You're just chilling, bro. That sounds amazing. That actually sounds amazing. Man. We'll see, man.
Mass surveillance. The Medal of Honor for revealing this really goes to Edward Snowden, the whistleblower who brought to the collective attention how the Secret Service of the US and UK governments had the ability to spy on literally everyone, tracking metadata, watching everywhere that you go, and what you're up to. The first program to be revealed was PRISM, which allows for court-approved direct access to Americans' Google and Yahoo accounts and everything in them. Then came Tempora, a British Black Ops surveillance program run by the NSA's British partner, GCHQ. This includes stuff like call databases, numbers, text messages, and even a secret court order requiring Verizon to hand the NSA millions of Americans' phone records daily.
You guys know about Snowden? You know the story of him? If not, there's a documentary and there's like an actual movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. If you don't, go watch that. But a little brief summary is that he worked for the CIA or the FBI, whatever the fuck, and basically saw that you could just tap into people's cameras, you know, like what laptop cameras. You could listen to what people are talking about. You could look through all their text messages, and it's literally all like a database. Oh, the NSA, yeah. It's literally like you could go to a computer, right? And Kobe's in the chat. Let's say I want to look up Kobe. I type in 𝗟𝗓𝗄, right? Pull up Kobe, and then I type in a word. Let's say I want to see if he was talking about Taco Bell or something. I type in Taco Bell. I see everything he's ever said in text or email or anything about Taco Bell. And it's like that. You could look at pictures, people's private, like, you know, everything, bro. And so he basically exposed it and then left the country so they couldn't arrest him. So now if he ever comes back to America or his location's revealed, like, dude, they would arrest him. They would he'd probably die somehow. Like, so there's people who haven't been as successful as him. Like, they try to tell the truth, but then they wind up getting clapped. So, you know, we probably don't even know what is actually going on right now. What the government or what anyone is capable of. We probably don't know what's happening right now. But, yeah.
One of Snowden's most frightening statements came in 2013, when he explained that by using the 𝗟𝗀𝗀𝗍 program, I, sitting at my desk, could wiretap anyone, from you or your accountant, to a federal judge or even the president, if I had a personal email. The NSA's top-secret black budget, obtained by Snowden, exposed the successes and failures of over 16 spy agencies comprising the US intelligence community, and revealed that the NSA was paying US private tech companies for clandestine access to their communications networks. All in all, it was revealed that the NSA was harvesting millions of emails and instant messaging contact lists, searching email content, tracking and mapping the location of cell phones, undermining attempts at encryption via Bull Run, and that the agency was using cookies to piggyback on the same tools used by internet advertisers to pinpoint targets for government hacking and to bolster surveillance. And yet, after all of this info being dropped, it has mysteriously disappeared from mainstream discussion.
Of
Our
course.
belief systems.
Of course.
We do it to ourselves. At some level, we have to take responsibility for ourselves. As easy as it may be to point the finger at the ruling elite, and there's no question, justice must be served, we must also recognize ourselves as a part of the problem through our own beliefs, herd mentality, and lack of mindfulness and unwillingness to strive for wisdom. If we wish to truly be a part of the solution, I know you've heard this before, but it's more serious than ever. Be the change you wish to see in the world. As Bruce Lipton has demonstrated with his groundbreaking work in epigenetics, our very beliefs affect our biological systems in deep and very impactful ways. If we can believe we can live a happy life, then we can. And if we believe that it's impossible, then we actually shut off ourselves and our bodies from receiving and experiencing satisfaction. Further, people will often try and rope their friends into their belief systems in order to validate their own opinions and perspectives. And so what we're dealing with here is a mass field of consciousness that is trying to push its beliefs onto everyone else, and the truth is muddled and lost. Generally speaking, all of this unconsciousness keeps us small, and we do it to ourselves. The collective mindset often appears to lack any interest in education, learning, wisdom, or connecting with truth, and in this may compel us to outrageous levels of stupidity. Now, at some level, we must be able to laugh at ourselves, because humans are notorious for often doing very dumb things.
Hey, hold on. Someone donated and said, "Hey, Los, you should read 10 arguments for deleting your social media accounts right now. It's not a long read, but it makes a ton of insanely good points as to why social media is the reason why there are so many issues we see today." Hey, man, send me a link.
And in today's day and age, these things are often captured on camera and shared for all to see, which fills up Reddit and YouTube channels to no end. For example, scrolling through Reddit's What Could Go Wrong channel will bring endless laughter at the ridiculous things that people do every day. Yet, it is also a clear reflection of our lack of ability to generally exercise a higher consciousness on a regular basis. If we really want to evolve, we have to do better. From the very top of the chain to the very bottom, it seems clear that there is a problem. At the beginning of this chapter, we said that there is...
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this the other day. You know, I mean, people love watching, like, dumb videos and, you know, shit like that. But, like, dude, it's like... You guys ever turn on MTV, ever? Do you ever just casually turn it on TV? What show is literally always on MTV? For the people who do. What show is literally always on, dude? Yeah, it's ridiculousness. Like, people are so amused with just watching just dumb videos of just a cat falling off a table, a guy slipping off a roof trying to jump into a pool. I mean, like, what if you... I'm just saying, bro, to his point, what if all these people who are watching this shit... I mean, dude, that show's been on TV for, like, how many years now? That shit, like, keeps MTV alive. I don't know, man. I feel like if people just spent that time doing actual shit that could, you know, improve their life or, like, make a future for yourself, something. But, nah, people just want to go on Reddit, watch dumb clips, and just... Dude, a lot of people just want to waste time. Like, just everyone just wants to just waste time, bro. And just watch, like, dumbass shit, and... I think that's the point he's trying to make. I'm watching LosPollosTV right now. I mean, this is not a waste of time. Because, first of all, if you come in here, you're getting educated. And you're getting educated in here from shit that they don't teach in school. Alright? So, yeah. Did I just... Wait. I wasn't saying that, like, insulting the viewers. I'm talking about mindless... Like, dude, watching this is not mindless. I'm talking about dudes, like, the guy fell out of a truck. Like, that's just mindless videos. Alright, bro, this is fucked up. Chat, you guys are fucked up, dude.
Is a sickness running through the underbelly of human consciousness. And while we have explored the idea that this sickness may be perpetuated and inflicted upon us by a demonic consciousness, whether it's sick, twisted psychopaths, a reptilian species, or demonic entities themselves, the truth is that we actively perpetuate it by staying asleep, pessimistic, and disconnected. And such is the nature of this chapter within the conspiracy theory of everything. Upon exploring the spiritual path, we can see that we remain complacent due to the disconnection of our souls. For when we live just from the ego, we live as self-centered, materialistic, pleasure-seeking beings who do not actively perceive or care for the search for anything greater. The soul is the voice of truth, love, and compassion within
Interesting.
you, the most authentic and highest version of you. It is the eye of awareness within your heart that connects you to everything, that sees and knows that all things are connected. However, in mass, there are so many who are disconnected from the soul and don't even believe that it exists. Thus, ideas like this are often ridiculed and demeaned by the masses, which further perpetuates the soulless body of human consciousness running rampant. A body of ego. Obviously, this makes it very easy for the elite to control the collective mind using all of the ways that we've...
I mean, dude, a perfect example of this, is I saw someone tweet this. It was a poll asking like teenagers or people who aren't adults yet, like, what do you want to do as your job? Like, what's your dream job or whatever? And the majority of the answers were YouTuber, rapper, filmmaker, musician, actress. It's all like things that come with like fame. Like people just want like fame and shit. And I honestly think like I don't care who you are. You could go on social media, bro, and you will always there'll always be someone or people who just have like just more than you. You know what I mean? So when he's saying this, it's like, yeah, are people just like on a quest to just get more shit? Like they just they're on a quest to just get a car, get this, get Gucci, get fuck. Like is that like what people like? What's the meaning? You know what I mean? Why do you guys? You really make it hard to have like actual conversation when you try to make a joke out of everything. You're saying you to every single thing I'm talking about. Like you make it so hard to talk to you guys, bro. Like it's like talking. It's literally like talking to a wall. It's like no. It's like talking to someone who has no like they can't like. It's like talking to a child. It's like talking to a little kid, possibly an infant. Like there's I can't talk to you. How did you just out of nowhere just start saying Los or you ? Like I'm confused, dude. I'm confused. I'm not some crazy car guy. I've always had one car. I have one car. I had a car, traded in, got a new car. Like I'm not like on some quest to fucking like I don't listen, dude. It's just people trying to be funny. I'm gonna just so yeah, I think it's an interesting point. It's like, you know, with social media, we're all so wrapped up in social media every single day. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, like literally every day we're so wrapped up in it that it's like, why are we doing certain things? You know, like why are you doing certain things? Why are we acting a certain way? Why are we, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't even think this is a conspiracy theory. I just think that social media, like as amazing as it is, being able to communicate with anyone, anywhere in the world, all this shit, I think that it has made people worse. I think it's made people worse people. No, I don't believe I've been affected by it. I don't believe I've been affected by it. Because I don't think I've ever changed. I've never. I've been streaming for 5-6 years. I never changed. Like I never like. There's nothing. I'm doing the same. I'm literally the same. Like none of my friends. No one has ever come to me like, bro, you changed, bro. Like literally. Like I don't do things like out like, you know, like that I wouldn't do. And I don't just do things just for social media. You know what I mean? I just don't. I mean, dude, I got a brand new amazing house. I haven't even shown you guys the house yet. You know how many YouTubers, as soon as they get a house, dude, they do an empty house tour. They show the whole, they fucking take 1 million pictures, video, all this shit. Like, oh, I literally got a house and I didn't even show you guys. Meanwhile, everyone would be trying to flex that shit. I did show you the backyard though, because that shit's fire. But I'm telling you, I'm just, I don't let it affect me. I don't let social media change me. But some other people, it's affected them, bro. And you know what it is because I'm already like an adult when I started doing this. Like I was already like 19 or 20, so I'm not like a little kid, or like even in high school. I know high schools are not little kids, but you know what I mean. So I feel like if I started doing this shit, like streaming all this shit when I was like 14 years old or some shit, I think it would have fucked me up. I actually think it would have fucked me up. So, okay, so hold on, wait. This is good. 1GXGX just wrote, the irony is insane. So chat, I want you guys to chill. I want to see what this guy says. You said the irony is insane. So what I'm saying is ironic. So 1GX, what is the irony of what I'm saying? I want to hear just him. I don't want to hear anyone else. I want to exactly hear what this guy has to say. I want to hear this. Somebody find his comment. His next comment. He said the irony is insane of what I'm saying, apparently. So I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I'm waiting, bro. He's got a green name. He has a green name. No comment? You thinking? You thinking? Are you typing right now? Look at this shit, man. I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting. I don't care. I got all day, bro. I took a nap today. I'm chilling, dude. He typed. What's his username? What is it? 1GXGX? Alright, the irony is insane. The irony. You were saying you don't flex and then you flex 40 racks. You were flexing 40 racks. So when I come on stream and I say, guys, I won this in the casino, I'm showing you that because of social media has made me show you? Dude, I showed my family, my friends. I mean, I consider you guys family and friends. This is flexing? Bro, if your friend wins 40,000 at the casino and doesn't tell you, that's weird as fuck. That's weird as fuck. Who just wins 40,000 and then just doesn't say anything? All right, let's go.
Very easy for the elite to control the collective mind using all of the ways that we've explored, because we are not operating from a state of higher collective consciousness. Rather, we are operating as if we are chickens with our heads cut off. Yet, if even but a glimpse of the soul can be seen, which often happens through lucid dreams, near-death experiences, psychedelic experiences, or other personal transformational revelations, an individual is usually changed forever. It is very difficult to go back to the way things were when you suddenly see and experience within that you are a part of something so much greater than yourself, and that your own thoughts, feelings, and actions have a direct impact on the world around you. How could you go back to being ignorant of this once you know a higher truth? We must be mindful that solving this problem must be taken from both ends of the spectrum. Those who are perpetuating the crimes against humanity, the mass manipulation, the pedophiles, the rapists, the murderers, all of them must be brought to justice. However, if we think this will solve all of our problems, we are sorely mistaken. For if we remain asleep and complacent, we remove one leader and a new one just takes its place, and the cycle continues forever. Thus, the other half of the equation is that we must also take it upon ourselves, each of us, to evolve our way of thinking, to heal the connection with our soul, and to be examples of what it means to be virtuous, soulful, and compassionate. But again, this is only still just the beginning, for our journey of waking up also stands in alignment with the evolution of technology and the introduction of—
What am I reading? Can you play a game? Shut this off. Play a game. Ayo, cock, can you play a game? The fuck is this? Like, dude, what the fuck am I reading right now? What the fuck am I reading, bro? Alright, dude, I want to end stream, bro. Like, this is not fun, bro. Like, you're literally spamming cock, bro. You're fucking spamming cock. God damn, bro. Subbo doesn't help shit.
will forever shape the future as we know it. The subject of extraterrestrials has mystified humanity for countless generations. The question of, are we alone in the universe, has inspired us to push forward and advance as a species in the search for life in the great beyond. But to this day, judging by the way people generally treat the subject, it would appear that we have yet to make any form of substantial contact. Yet, the awareness of a deeper truth, that something is being hidden from us, is regularly being leaked to this day. Let's start with some basics, which would be UFOs, which we all know stands for Unidentified Flying Objects, or as they're starting to be called today, UAVs, Unidentified Aerial Vehicles. It was shortly after the 2 atomic bombs went off during World War II that UFO sightings spiked around the world. Hundreds of reports of UFOs began to emerge in the decade that followed the incident, and it was in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, that things got really interesting. Reports of a UFO crash landing in the shape of a flying disc inspired tremendous interest in possible alien activity, as the US military quickly quarantined and cleaned up the site, claiming it was simply a weather balloon. This was really the beginning, and today, thanks to modern technology, especially cell phones, we have access to thousands, if not tens of thousands, of seemingly unexplainable UFO sightings from around the world. My own personal favorite is the Dome of the Rock incident from 2011, where several independent people caught footage of a bright, glowing, and oscillating orb that descended over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. After hovering over the sacred temple for several moments, it shot upwards with tremendous speed, disappearing into the sky.
What the fuck?
In more recent times, a video that was leaked several years ago was released by none other than the Pentagon, featuring 3 separate accounts of US military pilots attempting to track and follow incredibly fast-moving aerial ships, without any clue as to what they were. Along with curious phenomena like these, we also have a long list of ex-military officials who have either claimed to have seen, or even had some level of interaction with these crafts, identifying that not only are they real, but they have no idea what they are. One particular interesting subject in this discussion is the work of Robert Dean, a retired command sergeant major who, after that job, became a ufologist, and had been very public about his experiences with UFOs and ETs up until his passing away in 2018. At one point, he gave a presentation the full thing of which you can find available on YouTube, accounting many of the things that he saw in the military and NASA. The most interesting of which being the story of what happened during the real moon landing. Now, many people today believe that the moon landing itself is a conspiracy, that it...
Do you guys think the moon landing shit is fake? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about it. I don't know. I've heard good arguments for both sides. I've heard good arguments for both sides. The one main argument for it being fake is that Russia was going to have the first person land on the moon. And the US didn't want that to happen. They wanted to be the first. So they essentially faked it. And then they show, like, you know, the way shadows were and the lighting and shit like that, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what to believe. But yeah. Oh, it was China? Oh, I don't know.
It was faked because of certain things.
Oh, yeah, and there was no wind. Yeah. Oh, I think he might explain it, actually.
Believe that the moon landing itself is a conspiracy, that it was faked because of certain things that stand out about the moon landing that don't make sense, such as why the crosshairs of a camera are appearing behind a particular object on the screen, or the strange objects in the reflection of the astronaut's visor. But what Robert Dean has described was that there was actually a real moon landing. But what happened was that upon arriving at the moon, what the astronauts found was that it was populated. There were, according to him, little alien people walking all over the place, ships flying through the, well, I'd call it air, but I guess they don't have oxygen up there, do they? This was such a shock to the astronauts that after their visit they returned back with 40 rolls of film of what they saw, and NASA supposedly destroyed it. The thinking seems to be that the revelation of this truth was so out there that NASA buried the truth because of what would happen to the world if this was to get out. Now, I'm not saying that I'm in support of hiding the truth, but at the same time, think of how many religious beliefs would be shattered from this truth. How much chaos would be caused if all of a sudden, our entire global paradigm was to change in an instant. Again, I'm not saying that they're destroying the footage, if it did happen, was a good thing. But at the very least, trying to see things from every perspective. Specifically, there was an ex-CIA operative who spoke with 𝗟𝗄 at one point, and she described that the single most important thing that she learned from her time as basically a spy was that everyone believes they are the good guy. So even if this event did happen, whoever it is at NASA who controlled all of the information probably did it believing they were doing the right thing. We will return to Robert Dean at another point soon, because he shared something else that was very interesting. However, first we have to discuss this. You may be familiar with a man named Bob Lazar, one of, if not the first, to come forward with inside leaks about the secret government UFO programs. He claimed to have been hired in the late 1980s to reverse...
I mean, if you think about it, bro, if you think about it, would the government, you know, and even, you know they have meetings of the world, right? You know they have world meetings where the government from every country and continent, like, they come together. You think it's out of the realm of possibilities that they're like, you know what? Maybe this isn't good for the world to know that there's literally fucking aliens, bro. Like, people would start being different. You know? Like, there'd be... shit would get weird, bro. Shit would get fucking weird, dude. Like, right now, if they said, yo, there's aliens, and there's some on the earth, dude, all hell would break loose. Literally. There'd be people claiming to be aliens. There'd be some psychopaths who would like murder people and be like, no, he's an alien. I killed an alien. Like, you know, like it just, shit would literally just go insane. People would quit their jobs and just try to find aliens. I mean, dude, people would be trying to like build rocket ships. I don't know. It's already happening. No, but no, I'm talking about if, you know, Biden came on TV and was like, hey, listen, there's aliens here. Or if, you know, there was like a meeting, like the UN, and they were like, yeah, there's aliens. You know, like shit would like, the world would change.
First engineer purported extraterrestrial technology at what he described was a secret site called S4, a site similar to, and rather close to, Area 51.
Okay.
He described that he had access to a recovered UFO ship and for several years was attempting to discover the secrets of how it worked. Lazar claimed that the propulsion of the studied vehicle was fueled by the chemical element with the atomic number 115, known today as moscovium, or E115, which at the time was named unumpentium, since it hadn't been created yet. However, it was first synthesized in 2003 by a joint team of Russian and American scientists for real. He said that the propulsion system relied on a stable isotope of E115, which supposedly generated a gravity wave after being excited by livermorium, element 116, during proton bombardment. He argued that the decay products brought about by the reaction between the two elements would include gravitons, a hypothetical quantum particle that is thought to be responsible for gravity. In his new Netflix documentary, he used the analogy that the craft is kind of like a bowling ball. If you were to put a ball onto a piece of fabric or your bedsheet and then proceeded to push down on the areas around it, the bowling ball would fall forward into the bends and gaps that you create around it. In this way, the craft would kind of just fall through space by distorting space-time around it, like in a continuous rolling motion. This is what allowed the vehicle to fly and to evade visual detection by bending light around it. He said it levitated silently, and when it was activated, he was unable to even put his hand on it, because the force would repel his hand away like a strong gravitational field. According to intel that he received while at S4, the ship, which was one of 9 that the military had access to, was originally from the twin binary star system called Zeta Reticuli, and had belonged to the Greys, which are the most common visual of aliens that we generally see today when you think of what an alien might look like. We even have an emoji for it. He also explained that the way that the military worked was so secretive that they wouldn't even let the various divisions studying the craft to communicate with each other, so progress on reverse engineering the technology was very slow. While one group would be working on controls, another on propulsion, and another on, well, you get the picture. But due to this isolation, they wouldn't easily be able to identify how the different parts of the ship were interconnected and worked together, and thus reverse engineering became very difficult. This was especially challenging because supposedly the ship was entirely interconnected. There weren't really any moving parts. It seemed to be one singular solid object. The seat and floor and panels and walls were all one singular material, with no sharp edges anywhere, an entirely different kind of machine than anything we're used to today. Now, after Lazar came out publicly about this, his life fell apart. Many people quickly looked into his life and found that he seemingly never had any of the education degrees that he claimed to have had. Yet, upon deeper investigation, documents stored away in his old university proved that he was telling the truth. Bob explained that after he came out publicly, he received a phone call from his ex-employers who said, "Do you have any idea what we're going to do to you now that you've done this?" And for many years, Bob suffered as much of his past was erased, and he was made to look like a fool in front of the masses.
Wow.
Now, Bob's story is a very interesting one. My highest recommendation is checking out the documentary he created with Jeremy Corbell called Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers, as well as the Joe Rogan podcast that they appeared on, where Bob goes deep into the story of what happened and what he learned. But Bob isn't the only one to come forward with some fascinating stories, and this brings us to Dr. Stephen Greer, who founded the Center for the Study of Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or CSETI, in 1990 to create a diplomatic and research-based initiative to contact extraterrestrial civilizations, along with the Disclosure Project in 1993, a research project devoted to disclosing to the public information that the government and military supposedly have had regarding the existence of UFOs and ETs.
All right, you know what? No, dude, I 100% believe there's aliens and shit. I 100% believe that. I like, there just are. Like, there's too many people saying that there are. There's too many people saying they saw shit. There's too many weird things. But the thing is are there aliens? Like, what kind of aliens are they? Like, when we think of an alien, we just think of like movie, like aliens, like these just things that with like massive heads, and they're just kind of like, but what are they doing? Like, what do these aliens want? Like, just some aliens just crash land by accident on Earth, and like Earth is just like a random planet that they just, like, what the fuck do they want? Are they one of us? Am I an alien? Are you an alien? Is the weird teacher in your school an alien? You ever see someone and be like, yo, that's an alien? Have you ever, you know what I'm talking about? I know that you've seen somebody or talked to someone and be like, yo, no fucking way that's not an alien. Is Elon Musk an alien? I mean, he's definitely something, dude. I don't think he's just a normal human. I mean, dude, he's like a super genius. We're all aliens, dummy. I don't know, man. It's so weird to think about. It's just so weird. It's so weird, bro. It's so weird to think about. But then if you start like trying to find out about it, you try to like, I don't know, then people just say you're crazy. So maybe that's the way of silencing people, is just trying to make them seem like nuts if they even think about it. I mean, that's why a lot of people are closed-minded. Like, you saw how so many people in the chat were just like, dude, shut this off. Oh, what the fuck is this? Cap. Like, they're literally just sitting here. They don't believe anything. They're just completely just like, believe whatever society says or the government says. Like, dude, you gotta just open your mind a little bit sometimes, bro. You can't be a little robot, dude.
Claims to have over 3,000 confirmed reports of UFO sightings by pilots and over 4,000 proofs of what they describe as landing traces, evidence of UFOs landing on the Earth and leaving behind a sort of electromagnetic signature. If we pair this with what Bob Lazar said, it's entirely possible these ships could be bending light, entirely invisible to us, though perhaps not high-level military scanners. Dr. Greer also appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast many years ago and explained some very interesting things. What he received from a collection of over 30 documents from the NRO, NSA, CIA, FBI, and presidential briefings was that the way that these ships work and the way these ETs understand the universe is leagues beyond our own. What he described was that while today we believe that light is the fastest thing in the universe, this is only a barrier, and on the other side of the speed of light are laws that are governed by some sort of super consciousness, and that it is from this higher awareness that interdimensional travel becomes possible, and you can move throughout the universe nearly instantaneously without worrying about the speed of light, which is simply too slow to travel at if you're going from solar system to solar system, or especially across the galaxy, or even between galaxies. This is incredibly important to us because it's relative to the idea that consciousness and conscious thought actively steers the field of reality that creates the experiences that we have. This is a subject we will return to shortly. However, this conversation has one massive implication. You see, one thing that Dr. Greer explained was that the significance of alien life to us isn't really all about ETs at all, but about technology. The very instant that it became available would completely transform life on Earth forever. Imagine suddenly being able to travel to distant planets or explore the universe, And forget about having power to fuel the entire world's energy requirements forever. You'd have enough power to blow up a planet if you wanted to. This has tremendous implications to it, and may even be part of the reasoning for keeping the technology hidden for now. The question arises, is this technology hidden so that only the secret rulers of the world can have it? Or is it because humanity is not yet ready to inherit such a gift? One final piece in the ET and UFO conspiracy is the concept of the hoaxed alien attack. This comes from the late Dr. Wernher von Braun, the top Nazi scientist of Hitler's army, who, after World War II, came to the United States to work for the US government. Funny how that happens. And on his deathbed, he theorized that after a war with the Middle East, one day there would be a hoaxed alien attack, which was a part of the secret plan to weaponize space and control the world. He actually urged Dr. Rosen, his secretary, to thwart this plan above all else, because if it were to come to pass, and space was weaponized, whoever controlled these powers would have complete and supreme control over everyone, and the world would fall under the complete control of the oppressors. Now, the subject of ETs does not end there, however, because there is also the reptilian conspiracy, most famously brought to the public attention by the British conspiracy theorist David Icke. It's become one of the most infamous and popular conspiracy theories ever, sparking numerous parodies and commentaries in the media and TV shows. To put it simply, Icke believes that an interdimensional race of reptilian entities known as archons have hijacked the Earth and are stopping humanity from realizing our true potential. He has argued that these archons are the same beings mentioned in many Gnostic texts that have identified themselves as demons and rulers of the 7 planets in various traditions, mostly having the ultimate goal of preventing souls from leaving the material realm. He claims that because of this, they have gone by many names throughout history, including the Anunnaki from Sumerian myth and the Watchers and Nephilim from the Book of Enoch. He argues that human sacrifice to the gods in the ancient world was actually for the reptilians' benefit, especially the sacrifice of children, because he tells us that at the moment of death by sacrifice, a form of adrenaline surges through the body, accumulating at the base of the brain, and is apparently more potent in children, something that is today reminiscent of adrenochrome. Bringing it more into the modern day, he claims that a genetically modified human archon hybrid race of shape-shifting reptilians, known as the Babylonian Brotherhood, or the Illuminati or Freemasons to us today, manipulate global events to keep humans in constant fear, so that the archons can feed off of the negative energy that this creates. Now, he has also claimed that the members of this secret elite are descended from reptilians coming from the Draco constellation. He stated that the reptilians come not only from another planet, but also another dimension, the lower level of the 4th dimension, which he calls the astral plane, the one nearest to the physical world. As of 2003, when his books originally brought this theory out, he said that the reptilian bloodlines include all American presidents, 3 British and 2 Canadian prime ministers, several Sumerian kings and Egyptian pharaohs, and a whole bunch of celebrities. Remember when that article went viral about how Justin Bieber supposedly turned into a giant reptile in front of everyone? Some of the most prominent bloodlines are said to include the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, various wealthy European families, and established families of the eastern United States, and the British royal family. In fact, he said in numerous interviews that he saw former British Prime Minister Ted Heath's eyes turn entirely jet black while the 2 men waited for a Sky News interview in 1989.
What the fuck?
Ultimately, the global elite make up the top of the pyramid for the reptilians in modern day, all with the intention to keep us sedated and trapped in this reality without gaining a higher knowledge. At the top of the global elite are what Icke has referred to as the prison wardens, who oversee us in what is, to them, just the prison world. Along with the New World Order, their main goal is apparently to create a microchipped population, a one-world government, and a global Orwellian fascist state, a brave new world, which he claims will be a post-truth era where freedom of speech is denied. And how are they planning to do this, you might ask? Well, if Icke is to be believed, then the Brotherhood either created or controls everything. Things like the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, Roundtable, the Council on Foreign Relations, Chatham House, the Club of Rome, the Royal Institute of International Affairs, the Trilateral Commission, and the Bilderberg Group, as well as the media, military, CIA, MI6, Mossad, scientific publications, most religious doctrine, and even the internet. In other words, they control every aspect of our society and can make us believe what they want, when they want. Before we move on, I think it's important that we now revisit Bob Dean.
Dude. Wait, you're hearing my crunches? Alright, no, you gotta be lying, bro. No way you hear my crunches over the video. What I was gonna say was, this just seems like it's always about, like, controlling everybody. Everyone just, like, someone or something or people are trying to control everybody. But why, though? Why? Why do you want to control everybody? Because of power. So it's like literally like, you know, like, oh, like, I want to rule the world type shit. So that we can't dethrone them. So do you think right now that there are people competing for ruling the world? That's great. That's great.
And a particularly interesting story that he shared during the European Exopolitics Summit in 2009. He described that he was attending his son's retirement ceremony from the US Navy in Washington, D.C., and at this event there were a great deal of active and retired generals, admirals, captains, and more. One particular retired Navy scientist approached him and said, "Hey, I know you. You're that retired command sergeant major who has opened up about the UFOs.
Ew.
I have a story for you. That my last government job was as a plasma fusion physicist at a top secret place outside of Las Vegas. And I was working there for 5 years with 2 guys who were not from here. They were from somewhere else. Delightful people supporting us in figuring out plasma fusion, which equates to infinite energy forever." The man said, "After a few years of working with these guys, I approached one of them and asked, okay, what do you really think of us, humans, as a species?" And the alien said, "Well, since you've asked, we think you are a primitive, savage, and dangerous race." The other alien who was listening in then leaned in and said, "And you also smell bad." And he explained that it's not really about our bodies, although yes, we have polluted our bodies and the earth to a wild extent, but that we also have a psychic odor about us. Our thoughts and feelings are so negative that other higher species find it terribly offensive. While this story is actually kind of funny, it's also something that we should take very seriously. According to the reports and expressions from many whistleblowers, the other species who are interacting with us are actually mostly benevolent, and if we can really listen to what they have to say and do some meaningful self-reflection, it may just help us to clear out our own negativity, release ourselves from any reptilian or other controlling influences, and put us into a position to meet some really cool otherworldly species. Know your customer. It's the de facto business mantra of our modern era. Collect enough information on everyone's web browsing and social media habits, listen to what they talk about when they believe they're alone, and feed the data into a network of computers so complex that computer scientists aren't even sure how it works at all anymore. This complex neural network of computers, data, and programs are then linked to nearly all of us through the apps and web services that we use on a daily basis, spitting out products, content, and suggestions, catered to individual desires better than anything that has ever been done before, keeping the masses glued and engaged on their phones, tablets, and desktops like nobody's business, and have been specifically designed to manipulate our thoughts and feelings in order to keep us using the apps longer, get our friends and family engaging, and spend more money in the process. This is our current reality. And what's more interesting, the business model is wildly successful and most people don't even know that they're a part of it. Where does humanity go from here? A cyberpunk dystopia? As technology continues to advance, there is concern growing in the minds of those who have freed themselves from the Matrix long enough to realize that there is an issue. As technology continues to evolve and humans become more integrated with it, the line seems to blur between what is real and what is not. Then again, if all of reality is an illusion anyways, does it even matter? Let us begin our exploration with the software that currently exists today that begins to blur the lines between reality and illusion. Deepfakes. Technology is just now reaching a point where we can produce videos of just about anyone saying or doing things that they otherwise wouldn't say.
President Trump is a total and complete dipshit.
Granted, this technology is still in its infancy, and while that clip itself can easily be identified as a fake, every day as it improves, it becomes more and more difficult to tell the difference between deepfake and reality. Even today, it's being used in nefarious ways, including making porn videos of celebrities by taking their faces and applying them to other bodies. As time goes on, we may exist in a world where across the internet could exist countless videos of famous people, celebrities, politicians, all saying things that they would never otherwise say. And what happens when it gets so good that nobody can tell the difference? The real and fake versions arguing over which one is authentic. But of course, this is only the beginning of our technological conspiracies and how we slowly lose touch with our world as we enter into new ones. One of the biggest growing concerns in the world is the belief that the powers that be are attempting to control everyone through advanced microchip technology. For while each of our mobile devices already track and monitor us, the microchips could be used to monitor and potentially even manipulate thoughts and emotions on a mass level, just like Facebook and Google are already doing today. The powers that—
I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm not getting the vaccine. Fuck it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They're trying to put microchips in us? Hell nah, bro. It's over, dude. Nah, I'm joking, chat. I don't know. That just scares me, though, because it's like... I don't know. It's scary. I don't want to get a microchip. You already got one? Alright, then predict what I'm going to do next. If I'm programmed, predict what do you think I'm going to do next? Because if I'm programmed and you guys are programmed, then you should be able to predict. Take a massive shit. I'm glad that's how you look at me, man. I'm glad that's how you see me. I'm just a guy who's just about to shit. Thanks a lot, bro.
that be wouldn't just be watching you on the outside, they'd be able to monitor everything inside, everything about you, down to what you think about. This technology, combined with an AI that can associate complex combinations of states within your physiology, predicting future behaviors and affecting our perception and decision-making processes, a very scary and possible reality becomes available to us, one where we integrate with technology. As we know, this is already happening on some level right now, with the algorithms actively recording everything you search and serving it back to you on a silver platter. This, however, would be a far more invasive integration, and what's even crazier to consider is that people would do it voluntarily. You see, very few people are going to just allow this technology to be embedded in their bodies just so that the government can monitor them. Rather, just like with cell phones today, the microchip will be a no-brainer for people who are willing to receive the benefits of this tech. And the exchange? Intimate access to your personal information. Everything you see, think, feel, touch, taste, and so on. But what kind of benefits would there be? Well, at the earliest level, which Elon Musk has already announced with Neuralink, is that by connecting a very few tiny wires directly into your brain, they could theoretically overwrite neural patterns of depression, anxiety, and even help heal spinal problems, among other things. But in the grand scheme of things, and with a great deal of innovation, where this technology seems to go is into the realm of having a sort of telepathic link to the internet. When you have a question, instead of pulling out your phone and searching for the answers on the internet, you can access all of the information instantaneously about anything that you want. For others with the implant, you may find yourself connecting to others in a pseudo-telepathic kind of way, where your thoughts and feelings could be personally shared with others in real time.
Oh, hell no, bruh! People reading your mind, people... Oh, what the fuck is this shit? The fuck is this? Oh, this is not good, bro.
Beyond words, but with a language of images, pictures, and even sharing experiences. This would allow you to connect with others both mentally and empathically as well, which could bring people closer together. This would fundamentally change the education system too, for who needs school when you have instant access to every bit of information known to mankind right there in your mind? This chip could theoretically support you in downloading information thousands, if not millions of times faster than reading or watching documentaries. Much like Neo in The Matrix, downloading a lifetime worth of fighting techniques and becoming a kung fu master in a single day, this level of integration could be possible with this kind of technology. Imagine if you wanted to become an amazing artist or learn everything there is to learn about programming, quantum mechanics, or even becoming a professional accountant or lawyer. So why not just spend an afternoon or evening downloading and installing courses directly into your mind? You could theoretically condense 6 years of intense university studies into a weekend and have the exact same level of knowledge, or even greater knowledge, compared to someone who took the time to learn it the old-fashioned way. And as more and more people integrate with technology, it may even lead to a collective hive mind, where everyone's own brains become processors for a collective consciousness shared amongst all integrated people.
What the fuck?
On the one hand, it's very much like the Borg from Star Trek, but on the other hand, it seems to relate with many ancient writings, such as the Hermetic texts, as well as ideas that people like Stephen Greer have put forward. The idea that there is only one consciousness, and while all of our bodies appear separate and perceive disconnection from one another, ultimately, we're all sharing the same consciousness within the source field. The advent of this kind of technology would have earth-shattering implications for all of us, and life would never be the same. A sense of personal boundaries and privacy disappears as we become more open and interconnected in mind and body. But again, as wonderful as some of these ideas sound, the conspiracy remains. Who programmed the AI that links into our minds? And much like Facebook and Google operating today, would this mental tech dissolve our personalities, losing our individuality,
This is fucked.
and making us more like robots?
This is fucked.
When all of us are connected in this kind of way, the lines of reality blur further, and we are called to ask, who are we, really? Yet the microchip technology is really only the beginning for how we might connect through tech, because where things could go are directly into the realms of something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Let us start with some rather inconspicuous innovations that could change the landscape of the world in a massive way. Perhaps one day, let's say scientists and engineers complete a prototype for an artificial eye for blind people. One simple surgery, and it's a miracle. People who have been blind their whole lives suddenly have the gift of sight. But it won't stop there though. Suddenly these people can see wavelengths of light that normal eyes can't, have an integrated zoom feature giving them binocular eyes, and even have an augmented reality display directly in their inner vision.
Whoa.
These people could literally play Pokemon Go anywhere without a phone, literally seeing Pokemon all over the place. When cyborgs can not only see, but see better than someone with normal eyes, even people with fine eyesight will want this upgrade, and a new generation of upgraded humans begins. Even on a less invasive level, we have the ideas like the digital contact lens depicted in the new Brave New World series, which is a contact that hooks into receptors in the back of your eye, giving you a direct mental and visual link to everyone else in society. This could happen with prosthetics too, and in a way it already is, although the tech is still in its infancy. If someone loses or breaks their legs or arms in a terrible accident, they can one day get bionic limbs that are more powerful and capable than any normal body part, giving them super strength or super speed, at least up to the limits of what the rest of the biological body can handle. When this tech is available, of course some people will opt to have their arms or legs replaced by bionic body parts. This may even be especially popular in top secret super soldier experiments done by militaries of the world, if they're not already doing it. Ideas like this have also been made popular in pop culture, such as with the Cyborg in Treasure Planet, or Ed Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. But speaking now to integrated experiences, let us shift our focus for a moment to consider VR. It's
Guys, why would you want a bionic cock? Like, what are you saying, bro? Like I get it. Like, everyone, like, you want a bionic cock. All right, bro.
Possible to think that something like the Oasis from Ready Player One could be right around our doorstep, a massive multiplayer online universe that puts you into the experience through VR technology. This could, and likely would, lead to a form of mass exodus from real life, as people begin shifting their lives into this digital realm. Why go to work in an office when you can work from any conceivable place in the universe? And then instead of spending time with friends at the bar after work, why not go hunting dragons together? Instead of playing racing games on your iPad, why not go and actually experience a race yourself? Completely immersive, yet safe from the comfort of your home. With all of the suffering in the world and the fantastic possibilities offered by VR, some people might seek out a life spent mostly or even totally in-game. And while everyone is inside of the game, what would happen to the real world? If we are not careful, we may end up with a reality like Ready Player One, with massive slums taking over as people spend less and less time in the physical dimension. Why bother fixing the real world when the in-game world is always perfect, beautiful, or at least exactly as it's designed to be? But even this is not the end, and the lines around what is real begins to blur until you can't even see the line anymore. One day, it may even become possible to transport your entire consciousness into a game. This concept was demonstrated powerfully by a show called Sword Art Online, in which a VR headset allowed individuals to leave their body behind as they enter into an entirely virtual reality. Your body is unconscious, you're not even aware of it, and you experience reality as if you are physically running around in Azeroth or Minecraft, Hyrule, or literally anywhere that you want, as anyone that you want. Recently, this idea was also portrayed in an episode of Black Mirror, with a next-level VR headset that is just a little disc that you put on the side of your head, and it transports your consciousness into a video game. As you enter into a world where you can literally do anything, like fly, use magic, go on epic quests, or even just spend an entire summer fishing by a beautiful lake in paradise, the question becomes, why spend any time in the physical world at all? Do you want to have a super powerful body? Or a super sexy one? How do you want your face to look? You can customize it to your liking freely. Since this technology would connect directly to your brain, it could even stimulate sensations like getting drunk, taking psychedelics, or rewiring your thinking patterns to be however you want. If the only concern of having to unplug is eating and going to the bathroom, then undoubtedly someone will create a technology that makes it so that that isn't even an issue, and you will truly never have to leave. One might also wonder exactly what would happen to your physical body if you were to rewire your consciousness and brain inside of the game world. Would it change your body appearance at all? A mass exodus from the physical world would create tremendous...
Guys, stop with the low shit, man. It's so, like, it's so overdone, dude. Like, oh my god. It's like cringe, bro.
Changes within humanity, as part of the human race strives to live in this new world, and another part rebels against it, or simply cannot afford to play the game. Further, once brain integration happens and mass data is collected on people's reactions to certain stimuli or events, the artificial intelligence could skillfully filter and alter your perception in reality, or completely guide your experience in VR so that you rarely, if ever, have a desire to stop using it. All this technology, especially putting your consciousness into a game, will at some point give the game creators an awareness of everything about you, your thoughts, your feelings, your choices, and it would allow anyone with the know-how to monitor you on a very intimate level. And yet, most people will probably skip past the 50 to 100 pages of terms of service and press accept anyways, because the ability to shoot fireballs and fly is waiting for them on the other side of the sign-up page. And seeing the pinnacle of all of this together, as humanity grows and becomes more advanced and can even create an entirely robot body, if we can transfer our consciousness, our thoughts and memories into a machine, then we could exist with a robot body just like Ultron himself. When that day comes, we will be forced to ask, what constitutes a human being? Now, to some people, this already sounds amazing and can't wait for the future. However, the conspiratorial aspect of this comes in the form of a question. As we step into the next 100 years of change and beyond, who is really running the show? The foundation of the internet as we know it is rooted in algorithms beyond anyone's understanding, designed almost entirely for the purpose of profit and marketing. Who controls these algorithms? Who dictates what we see? Currently, our attention is essentially open to the highest bidder. But is it possible that the AI itself could take us all over? And if we are integrated into this collective mind, is it possible for someone to simply decide what we think and feel? Even when the internet was in its infant stages, people were fantasizing about free and open access to information revolutionizing the world. And while that tech did become available, social media has also come to the forefront and allowed some of our worst primal instincts like tribalism and manipulation to resurface with greater strength than ever before. To go deeper into this, we must acknowledge that we're all responsible for our own behavior. But as far as social media is concerned, how we use this technology is also beholden to those who created it. In a recent Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma, several ex-employees of many social media tech giants like Google, Facebook, Instagram, and more sat down to reveal what they had inadvertently created with this pioneering technology: a monster. They explained that they have created a world in which billions of lives are affected by the decisions of a small number of programmers, a social reality in which, through the way that the apps and software work, it facilitates very small and subtle changes in the way that people think and feel. It's so subtle that you don't even know it's happening. But the result is that most of us end up living inside of a delusional bubble, seeing only the content that we're already exposed to seeing. And this software can even help us create negative responses to people who believe anything different than us. The technologies, they explained, are designed specifically to get as much engagement out of you as possible, to get you spending more and more time and then more money just by browsing these social media sites. Really take a moment to think about that. Every single thing that comes up on your own social media feed was put there by an algorithm that was trying to get you to keep scrolling, to warm you up to spending money with an ad, or continue to foster engagement by connecting with other people and bringing them back to the app too. A supposedly leaked document from a marketing presentation for video games showed dozens of pages, plans, and methods to use AI and data collection on the target gamer to determine when they were more likely to buy in-game items, and aggressively market to them by displaying offers at those times. Audio captured by the devices revealed to the AI the gender and mood of the player, and found that Wi-Fi signals could reveal their location, such as if the player is in the car or in their bedroom laying down. The AI would also pick up mouse movements and typing speed, revealing levels of engagement, determining how best to serve these ads to the individuals. All of this data is fed into the AI and analyzed by the marketing team to exploit human psychology for the sake of selling virtual goods. The presentation goes as far as using voice tone analysis to determine when players are slightly, moderately, and severely depressed, and then reduces the use of emotion-based advertisements and switches to logic-based advertisements, which were shown to be more effective in a depression. You can imagine what other tactics they might be using, and combined with their ability to manipulate the game to influence your state once you purchase more from their store, well, we weren't kidding when we said technology can be used to control us. Even if this presentation was fake, everything mentioned in it is well within the demonstrated power of AI today, and if it hasn't been integrated yet, you better believe that someone is working towards it. One singular and perhaps most critical questions we can ask ourselves in relationship to this new technology is, what is truth? How do we define and collectively agree on truth? Specifically, if we live in a world where no matter what you believe, you can always find support or evidence for the argument and perspectives that you hold. Want to believe the Earth is flat, round, or hollow? You can find ample evidence for all three. Are you left-wing, right-wing, extreme center? It doesn't matter. On the internet, these ways of thinking are both the greatest and most logical and perfect way of thinking, and the most destructive way of thinking that is destroying our beautiful planet, all at the same time, depending on who you ask. Thus, the question of truth becomes a pertinent one. How do we, collectively as a species, find truth together? This is a question that we will revisit further down our path. Regarding the modern news and entertainment industry, we already know that the masses are manipulated daily to think and feel and respond in certain ways. And with the insights offered in the social dilemma, it seems as though our social media is also encouraging us to begin behaving in hive mind mentality. This technology appears to cause us to stop becoming unique individuals and become just a cog in a massive machine. And this
Man, I hate to say it again, but it's like this is like the cancel culture shit again, dude. It's if you don't think a certain way, or like you have to just be against shit or whatever, or like you're canceled, like, and like that's like isn't that like a thing that like most people, like, you know, even if people aren't social media people, but they still want to have like a career or something, like no one wants to be canceled. And that has become like the biggest fear of people in like the last like year or two. It's like, but if you think about it, bro, it's literally not real. It's just like this like online like illusion. Yeah, this is really tripping me out, man. This is literally tripping me out, bro. It's tripping me out, dude. Yeah, like, so like there's like opinions that are it's like, okay, if you don't have this opinion, then you're like a piece of shit or you're canceled, you know. There's like just certain opinions. Who's making these decisions? Like, who's the ones that are like saying like, I don't know, bro. Who's making these like choices, bro? I think it just naturally happens, to be honest. I think there's two opinions, and then whatever gets the most, whatever seems like the most safe one is the popular opinion. I don't know. I don't know how it happens. I don't know. 𝗍𝗵𝗵 is controlling the world. Yeah, Kawhi MVP saying that. Yeah, you're getting banned for 24 hours. Like, it's just, it's so ironic. Just someone just being called Kawhi talking shit about LeBron.
This is where there's a pending issue with the integration of technology. What's to stop the AI from changing the...
Can y'all name someone who's been canceled for your opinion, for their opinion it's a hoax? Are you joking? Bro, if you say things the wrong way, or you have an opinion different from the masses, you'll be like not treated the same anymore. Like, you might not be, you know, you're not getting like arrested. It's like a cancel is like a thing of like, oh, we're like, people aren't gonna like look at you the same anymore. People aren't gonna like look at you the same. Anything you say, you're like delusional or some shit, or you're like whatever they want to say. Call someone racist. I mean, anything. Example, Kyrie Irving. Yeah, I don't know, bro. It's like you just can't have a different opinion because there is no talking, because you're literally made, because the people who are like so against it, they've been, I don't know, dude. It's like, I'm trying to think of a good example because I'm not trying to get like political. Kyrie said the world is flat. That's not. I mean, people saying Alex Jones. I mean, that's a guy he's not allowed to have like a YouTube or Twitter or anything. He's been like banned off everything. Yeah, he can't like go on those things.
The nature of your being based on who's advertising to you in any given day on a deeper level than ever before. In the world today, as people have negative responses to news or events, this fuels more negativity around the issue. Not to mention, the news actively fuels more negative press and stories on a daily basis.
Someone said, but he's actually nuts. Says who, though? Like, who decides that Alex Jones is nuts? Like, who decides that? Because like, we've literally watched Alex Jones talk on Joe Rogan podcast. We've seen him talk. Like, he says things that are like, not like, you wouldn't even think of them. I don't know, bro. It just sounds like, what? We? Yeah, fuck, yeah, we, yeah. What do you mean we, question mark? We literally watched Alex Jones shit on my stream. What do you mean we, question mark? Fuck? Dude just said we, question mark. Like, what is that? Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
So that even if there's a lot of good in the world, the negative stories always seem to get more attention. Conspiratorially speaking, there is more and more evidence that shows that consciousness actively steers reality, that our focus and what we focus on dictates what kind of life we experience. People with hope for the world are driven to create things, but people who focus on all the negative stuff in their life generally have more anxiety around things that happen and become stuck in their own fear. The coronavirus pandemic was a great example of this, as we saw mass divisions from people.
What? Keem tweet? What is that? What is this? What the hell is that? Fuck.
People wearing face masks and generally being scared of potentially spreading this thing, and those who just relaxed into the quarantine and said, all right, we're here, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity to create some meaningful change, at least in my own life. And they did. If Facebook and Google are steering the mainstream narrative, then they ultimately have a massive influence in the direction that society goes. They could design their systems to create peace and prosperity in the world, but their core focus is profit, which is good for business. So why would they change their business model? This couldn't have been made more evident by a personal quote from Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook, who actually said, "What's good for the world isn't necessarily what's good for Facebook." Yes, he really said that, and he owns one of the largest companies in the world, influencing the lives of billions. Even if humanity was connected digitally with all of this access to information, such as consciousness integration and all that, unless you were actively looking to download and install books and wisdom into your mind, it's all too likely that the focus of our collective mind could be hijacked by advertisements, entertainment, or other things. The exact same as how we are constantly distracted by social media today, and this could even be used to steer our species in the direction of whoever or whatever was pulling the strings.
What the fuck,
At this
man?
point, it almost appears as though this kind of technological integration is inevitable, and if you're conflicted about it, you're not alone. On the one hand, the ability to read every book you ever wanted to in days, or learn more about yourself and the universe in such a short time, or master kung fu, is very appealing. On the other hand, if your mind can be controlled or even forcefully steered in any direction by someone else, then is that really a paradigm that we want to be a part of? I imagine that there will be some big turning points for our species in the journey of development of this technology. But if we can learn to do this in an open source way that allows each and every individual their own sovereign right to freedom of thought and feeling, and actually choose what they share with the collective mind.
Okay, yeah, we're done with this. The chat's literally spamming the baby balls. Yeah, we're done with this. I tried, bro. The ADHD is just too much for the chat, man. It's I mean, you're literally seeing it, bro. It's literal pure